This lesson is about standard form quadratics. This is the most common type of quadratic you will see in Algebra 1, and it shows up constantly on tests. Standard form looks like this: y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. There are three parts, and each part has a job. This equation always makes a parabola, a smooth U-shaped curve. Let's go one letter at a time. A controls the direction and steepness. If A is positive, the parabola opens up. If A is negative, the parabola opens down. A also controls how skinny or wide the parabola is. B controls where the middle of the parabola shifts left or right. You don't see that immediately, but it changes where the turning point happens. C is the easiest. C tells you the y-intercept. That means when x is 0, y is whatever c equals. So the graph always crosses the y-axis at 0, c. Let's see how this looks visually. Let's start with the parent equation, y equals x squared. This is the most basic quadratic possible. Its vertex is at the origin, 0, 0. Because if I plug in 0 for x, my y equals 0. This graph opens up and it is perfectly centered. Every quadratic starts here. Now we change a. Look at this equation. Y equals 2x squared. Only a changed. Nothing else. A controls two things: how wide or skinny the parabola is, whether it opens up or down. When a gets bigger, the parabola gets skinnier. It rises faster. That means it is steeper. Now look at this equation. Y equals negative x squared. The negative sign flips the graph. The parabola now opens down. This always happens. If a is negative, the parabola opens down. Y equals x squared plus 3. C moves the parabola up or down, also called the y-intercept. Nothing else changes. The shape stays the same. Because c equals 3, this is also the y-intercept. So remember this. C tells you where the graph crosses the y-axis. Now let's look at B. Here is the equation. Y equals x squared plus 4x. B moves the parabola left or right. It does this by changing where the vertex is. The graph may look tilted at first, but what is really happening is the vertex is shifting sideways. Because B changed, the vertex is no longer centered at 0. It moves to the left. That is the key idea. Here is what each letter does. A controls opening direction and steepness. B moves the parabola left or right. C moves the parabola up or down. When graphing standard form, we use a table of values. Now let's graph our first equation. Y equals x squared plus 2x minus 3. I choose x values near 0. This keeps the math easier and helps capture the shape. I plug in x equals negative 2. That gives y equals negative 3. I plug in x equals negative 1. That gives y equals negative 4. I plug in x equals 0. That gives y equals negative 3. I keep repeating this until my table is done. Now I plot each point on the graph. Now let's look at another equation. Y equals negative x squared plus 4. A equals negative 1. That means the parabola opens down. Always check A first. I plug them in, I get my y values, I plot the point. So the graph crosses the y-axis at 0, 4. That should always match the graph. Now let's look at a more challenging example. Y equals 2x squared minus 8x plus 6. A equals 2. 2 is positive, so the graph opens up. Because A is bigger than 1, the parabola will be steeper, skinnier. B changes where the middle is. To catch the turning point, we choose x values near 2. That keeps the graph accurate. I plug in the values. I plot the points. C equals 6, which is the y-intercept. So the graph crosses the y-axis at 0, 6. Here is the exact process you should use on tests. 1. Look at A. That tells you up or down in steepness. 2. C is the y-intercept at 0, C. 3. Make a table of values. 4. Plot the points. 5. Connect smoothly.